I don't think we respect and fear our own creations enough. And we don't view some of our creations as technologies that ought properly to be viewed as technologies. The most basic, simple example is fire. We figured out how to create a fire thousands and thousands of years ago. And ever since, fire has been a technology that we have utilized. I imagine initially people were quite afraid of fire, and rightfully so. Um, Today, it continues to be a very destructive force when unleashed. Um, you can look every year in California, you've got massive fires. Some years you've got these really nasty Santa Ana winds, and they'll take out an entire community uh, very quickly with really nothing that people can do about it. We try. We've got airplanes in the sky. We've got all kinds of crews on the ground. We got people lighting backfires and doing everything they can to stop the forward progression of a fire that's quite possibly going to go to the ocean until it burns out. Fire is very destructive, but we're very used to it. We've become accustomed to it. We've got certain safeguards in place. Um, you know, for a long time, people really understood fire. I think that's becoming less the case, actually. I think fewer and fewer people are using real fire to do things. Um, a lot of stovetops are electrical now, not even gas. Um, a lot of fireplaces are decorative and either electric or gas. Um, People's familiarity with fire is actually going down right now, which I find interesting. Uh, Fire started this whole thing, and we're getting less and less familiar with it. We harness fire in the internal combustion engine. We harness fire in steam generation. Anyway, it's a technology that has clearly facilitated a lot of creation and industry by people, but it's also a very dangerous thing. And uh, we got to the point now where a lot of its danger has been so sequestered that we don't think about it on a daily basis when we're going through life. We can, we thanks to electrification, we've got no need to see fire on a daily basis to cook, to do anything. It's very interesting. There's another technology I want to talk about, and that is politics in societies where you encounter strangers on a regular basis. Government is a technology. It's a technology that we created to solve the problem of what do we do about the strangers living amongst us. That first and foremost, that's what governments are made to do. You don't know everybody. People are coming in and out of town willy-nilly. You got to have rules on the books. Then you can deal with the people that you don't know and can't hold accountable personally because they're not your friends. When people got populous enough, the first laws started coming into being. We've got ancient records and shoot, what's the name of the big stone? I'm forgetting it. It had all the rules written down in stone for everyone to see, and the king received these laws from heaven and had a scribe write them on the tablet. What the rules are, and you look at the Old Testament, it's telling you what the rules are and what the proper punishment is for different infractions on people. You've got the different kings, writing down their opinions or having scribed their opinions of what the right law of the land is, and you get an authority, a king, authority by God to tell you what the laws are. These are only necessary because we're living among strangers. This is a technology that we developed for living among strangers. And a lot like wildfire, you can't let this technology get out of control. and I'm blowing by whether or not it's right to have such a technology. I, I, I got opinions there too, but to the extent that um, people agree that there needs to be some kind of check on the strangers out there, um, we have a legal system, right? And that system is meant to rein in the strangers. But what do you do if that legal system is burning freely? What do you do when the um, the government gets bigger and bigger, and its checks on power uh, get weaker and weaker because what's pushing the government to get bigger and bigger is uh, capital investment in the form of bribery or lobbying to get the politicians to make the laws favorable to what you want. I mean, because we were afraid of the strangers, we sparked a fire. We created light in the darkness. This is gonna help us. This fire, this government, this system, this set of laws. We're gonna treat everyone with a set of laws, and we'll post the laws. We'll let everyone know what the laws are, but we're gonna use this to keep the strangers at bay. So we spark this fire in the darkness, right? But we're getting burned by our own fire, guys. It's gotten too big, way too big, and the funny thing is, the scarier it gets, the more people keep throwing logs on. Like, oh no, we need government to do this, we need government to do that, we need to do this, that, the other thing. And people are getting all scared, and um, they're not taking responsibility for the tending of the fire. They're just throwing logs on it. They're voting for a tax to do this, a tax to do that. They're voting for prohibitions on this kind of behavior, or excuse me one second here. They're voting to keep these people in jail, or get these people out of jail, and they're just throwing throwing logs on the fire, not recognizing that the fire's gotten way too big, and that where maybe it could have been a check on the stranger, those strangers are actually laughing at you because it's your own town you're burning down, right? You're it's your house on fire, and that candle that you lit in the darkness to tell the strangers, hey, someone's home, don't come in here. it caught the kitchen table on fire, and you tried to smother it with all your laundry, but you didn't know what you were doing, and so the fire got bigger and bigger, and it's consuming rooms of your house, and you're screaming, we need more fire. It's crazy. Anyway, that analogy got out of control. But anyway, we've got a problem. We built Frankenstein's monster to keep the bad guys away, and then we lost control of Frankenstein. Right? And a lot of people think that, oh well, we just need to get the right people in there, and they'll rein this in, and they'll cut these programs and cut those programs, and it'll all be better really fast, and or maybe it won't be better really fast, but this is a necessary thing. We gotta do this to make it all better, and maybe, I don't know. All I see is you're trading out which wood you're using to feed the fire. I mean, you're not talking about reduced military spending. You're not talking about demilitarization of the police force. You're trampling on human rights rather than protecting them. I don't think that you're going to control the government by doing more government. I don't think that's going to work. The problem is, going back to the fire here, people don't know how to make fire anymore. I mean, when was the last time you rubbed a stick together to make fire? When was the last time you picked out dry tinder and found a softwood and a hardwood and created fiction and put that very dry tinder there and tried to I mean, when was the last time you found the right materials to spark? I mean, we don't know how to do that anymore. We don't know how to talk about rights. We don't know the difference between a right and a privilege, fundamentally. We don't know it. Education is a right. Bullshit, actually. If you're talking about making someone else educate your kid for you, you don't have that right. You can't make anyone do anything for you. That's not a right. We don't know how to make fire. We don't know what a right is. We can't create a government if we don't understand what a right is. We can't hold a government accountable if we don't understand what a right is. Apparently, we can't even notice when our entire government has been consumed by the corporations that they licensed. Frankenstein's monster, the government, had babies called corporations, who in turn control our government. We have billionaires who have lawyers who have figured out how to hack every system that was created and change the systems that were unfavorable towards their business interests. We can't talk about a government that does what it's quote unquote supposed to do in a society of strangers if we've forgotten how to make fire, if we've forgotten what a right is, if we're so confused about our own rights that we think that other people have rights over us. We're lost. If you look at my channel, I'm starting to do, there's a playlist called Natural Law or something like that. And the Natural Law Topics, I think I called it Natural Law Topics. Start poking around in there. Rights and privileges, basic stuff. We need to know what it is to make fire again. I'm going to end this video here. Take a look at my Natural Rights Topics playlist. Thanks.